6th of Morning Star. Despite remnants of disturbing dreams, I awoke feeling excited for the first time in, well, what seemed like forever. I was nervous too. Over breakfast, I confessed to Froki what had me particularly worried. I was afraid of killing. What was I going to do if someone threatened me? Froki barked a sharp laugh and reminded me that this was Skyrim. It was kill or be killed. If I wasn't willing to defend myself or my kin, then I deserved whatever punishment I got. His words took me by surprise, but I think that deep down I knew he was right. This was a harsh land. But I had hoped to avoid having to fight people. I wasn't certain I could be trusted not to fall back into dark and evil ways. As a parting gift, Froki lent me a book called Killing Before You're Killed, and reminded me that even the heroes of Sovngarde had taken lives in pursuit of honorable goals. The gods would be pleased with me, he said, and my place next to my forefathers would be restored as long as I used my sword to bring honor to myself, my family, and my home. Well, nothing for it then. Time to pack up and head out. Farewell, Froki. I was still uncertain how I was going to face my first battle, but there was no point in delaying further. I hopped into the saddle and rode off down the hill. Here we go again, boy, off on a new adventure. Are you ready? Froki had marked the last known location of the spirit beasts on my map. The closest was near Falkreath, so I traveled back over the snowy pass, covering the same ground I had blindly stumbled over all those weeks ago. I tried not to think about it, but that only seemed to make things worse. I gritted my teeth and rode on as quickly as I could, hoping to find some new scenery that didn't hold any such memories. The problem was that everywhere I went, memories followed. I had traveled over much of the land for Brotherhood contracts. I did my best to look at the sky or the distant terrain and think of other things. Still, by the time I arrived at the Spirit Wolf's location, my knuckles were white from gripping the reins. My jaw ached from clenching it, and my mind was a scattered mess. It was also freezing cold, and that may have had something to do with how stiff I felt when I jumped out of the saddle. I must have ridden right past the wolf den, for they came after me while I was looking for a place to camp. Sure as beard it's cold. Come on, boy, we need a place to camp. I could use a toasty fire to thaw myself out. How about... What's that? Oh, it's the Guardian Wolf. It was a relatively easy matter to defeat them. Even the Spirit Wolf. Well, that wasn't so bad. With that complete, I immediately began to make camp so I could rest and warm up. Luckily, I'd had the foresight to pack some firewood on the horse. It made the process of building a fire that much easier. I sat in my tent, a simple leather tent, better for rain than for snow, and thought about the day. I was going to have to find a way to put those memories aside. Avoiding places that held them was out of the question. I had memories from everywhere. What I needed was a new beginning, some sort of fresh perspective, so I could see everything anew, experiencing it as if it were the first time again. When the snow stopped, I packed up camp and rode for the town of Falkreath. I needed a few more supplies, and I thought it might do me good to spend the night at the inn in the company of music and conversation.
Come on in. Just stoke the fire. Take a seat and get the cold out.
Warm.
At some point we should hire Tekla on here. If she could just spend less time serving dengue.
Look alive, will ya?
You want a drink?
Sure, what's on the menu?
Depends. Are you thirsty? Hungry? Both?
How about some baked potatoes, leeks, horker, and a bottle of ale?
Good day.
Aye, thank you.
Oh, there once was a hero named
good,
Ragnar
I
the
could
Red,
use some
came
music,
riding to Whiterun from
even if it is
Ulfric
Ragnar
stead.
the Red.
And the braggart did swagger and brandish his blade as he told of bold battles and gold he had made.
Say, he is a pretty good bard.
But then he went quiet, did Ragnar the Red, when he met the shield maiden Matilda, who said, "Oh, you talk and you lie and you drink all our mead. Now I think it's high time that you lie down and bleed." And so then came clashing and slashing of steel as the brave lass Matilda charged in full of zeal. And the braggart named Ragnar was boastful no more when his ugly red head rolled around on the floor.
When the innkeeper wished me good fortune for the new year, it suddenly dawned on me that it was Morningstar. It was a new beginning, a brand new month, representing the start of a brand new year. As simple and stupid as it would have sounded if I spoke the words aloud, I resolved silently to remind myself that my journey now was new. It would be the first time this year that I was seeing every rock, tree, and dwelling. It was the first time I would be seeing them with fresh, unblinded eyes. That was enough for me, for now.
Welcome to
Aye,
Dead Man's
thank
Drink.
you. And a happy new year to you as well.
I escaped fighting in Cyrodiil, only to have it track me down again in Skyrim.
Oh, I am sorry to hear that. But hopefully the water will not come to Falkreath. Do you have any rooms available?
Sure thing. It's yours for a day.
Ah, good.
I'll show you to your room. Right this way. Let me know if there's anything else you need.
Thank you, this will do nicely.
Well, I wouldn't complain if we could string together a few sunny days now and then.
Aye, but then it wouldn't be Skyrim, would it? I felt a small measure of peace, a slight lifting of my spirit, and even knowing that the nightmare memories would still be waiting for me in my dreams, I was able to settle down for a night's sleep.